A multitude of projects, some of them, virgin targets, no one's ever gone there before. Some of them more advanced, where we're already drilling some of our targets. And, we have great assays all the way up to 30 meters at 1.51% lithium oxide.
Hello and welcome to the Assay TV. Today I'm here with Killian Charles, President and CEO at Brunswick Exploration. So Killian, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
And so Brunswick Exploration is an early stage exploration company looking for the key metals to drive the energy transition, such as lithium in Canada. So do you want to maybe give us a little bit more of an introduction into Brunswick? Tell us about some of your key projects.
Sure. So Brunswick is actually one of the largest grassroots lithium companies in the world, predominantly focused on Canada, but we are active across a multitude of provinces from Saskatchewan straight through Atlantic Canada. And we've just launched the largest grassroots lithium exploration program in the Americas. So it's a very exciting program that's going to be consisting of almost up to 12 teams and 3 helicopters scouring the multitude of projects we have in Canada.
Okay, great. And so maybe you want to tell me a little bit more about, this exploration strategy that you have. And I've read that you have kind of a very deep technology use to kind of aid this along.
I wouldn't say technology from that perspective. Our work is predominantly focused on your basic compilation work, looking at historical maps, looking at available data, supplementing it with plain old satellite imagery, nothing very fancy on that side. Pegmatite, the type of rock we're looking for that contains lithium, is pretty unique. It outcrops well, but you can't really use geophysics to explore for it. So that means you need to be able to see it, you need to be able to land or get to it. So, we've been slowly building out a portfolio of pegmatites that have the potential of containing lithium across all of Canada in preferred geological environment. And that, has allowed us to build the company to the size it is today.
Okay. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about the regions where you're operating right now. So predominantly in Ontario and Quebec, but then also moving a little bit westwards through Canada?
Absolutely. So, we're one of the first movers in many of our jurisdictions. We saw an opportunity to stake and to start doing exploration. So that obviously made us very excited, very happy to be doing that type of work. Specifically in the context of Saskatchewan, we're the largest claim holders for lithium exploration. Manitoba, we're centered around Lynn Lake and other portions of the province. In Ontario, we have our Hearst property. We have another one closer to the Manitoba border. In Quebec, we're obviously active very much in the James Bay region, as well as in the Abitibi and to a lesser extent on the North Shore. And finally, we're also active in Atlantic Canada. Like I mentioned, a multitude of projects, some of them, virgin targets, no one's ever gone there before. Some of them more advanced, where we're already drilling some of our targets. And we have great assays all the way up to 30 meters at 1.51% lithium oxide. So it's not just early stage grassroots exploration. Some of it is more advanced, and we hope that as we go into the summer months and define and delineate new targets, we'll be right back to drilling a multitude, several targets in the second half of this year. So we're just getting warmed up.
All right, sounds great. We'll get back to that in a bit. But do you want to talk a little bit about, maybe the geology or regulatory aspects that make this kind of an ideal place to be doing this work?
So, the best place to be looking for pegmatites is in a shield environment. And it so happens that the Canadian Shield is the largest shield in the world. So that makes it a perfect environment, and it stretches, as I mentioned, all the way to Saskatchewan, all the way out to the East Coast. So that's why we predominantly work there. These are areas that have ample mines, that have, well-defined mining codes. They'll often feature in the top 10 Fraser Mining Institute. So, that's always been a core focus for us, making sure that we're working in strong mining regulatory environments. And as for the geological environment, we've been always focused on, we're not willy-nilly staking any type of pegmatites. We're focused on sedimentary signatures for our pegmatites. So that allows us to filter out targets. We're looking for targets that are at least 500 meters of strike length. We're looking for mines, so nothing too small. And we always want, it's a bulk commodity, lithium. We want to be close to the infrastructure. So within 40 kilometer from existing infrastructure.
Okay.
So it's a very focused, very targeted approach for exploration. It's not a lab grab. There's a method to the madness. Let's put it that way.
So, you're doing some great work in terms of exploration for lithium. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about, the outlook that you see for the metal, its role within the energy transition, and I suppose just the importance overall of the lithium market?
Yeah, absolutely. Lithium is the linchpin of, our decarbonization plan. It's kind of interesting. It sits well because it's both common enough and where we can decarbonize with lithium. And so when you look at a longer term basis, we do have a number of assets we can put into production, let's say out to 2027. But after that, it's going to require companies to make new discoveries. So there's no two ways to slice it here. We need lithium. We are only getting started from that perspective in terms of our decarbonization plan. Right now, we saw a lot of price pullback for lithium carbonate pricing in China. Fine, but lithium spodumene price held up quite well. So to me, that tells me that the market is truly underpinned on growth, and we're just getting warmed up. This is an immature industry. There's still a lot more to go here before it starts to resemble established industries like nickel, copper, zinc, or gold.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I guess finally, do you want to let us know about any kind of key milestones that you're working towards over the next 12 months or so, or, future plans for the company?
Yeah, so it's an exciting time for Brunswick. The snow's melted, so we're out there in the field. We're, ground testing the, over 800 targets that we've amassed in our portfolio. We still have more announcements to make in terms of new acquisitions to our portfolio, spodumene bearing acquisitions. So we're quite keen to bring those to the market. We're also quite keen to, once we've done our first round of filtering out in the field, first round of identifying new targets, get right back into drilling. We had done a little bit of drilling over the last few weeks. But the second half of this year is when we bring Brunswick to that next level as we go back out there and start drilling once more and making, hopefully, quite a number of new discoveries.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, certainly a lot to be looking forward to. So, Killian, thanks for joining me here today on the Assay TV.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.